Good afternoon, folks. This is Robert Chappell, Executive Editor of Madison365, with your daily update for Friday, June 18th. Is that right? June 18th? Yeah, because tomorrow's Juneteenth. Juneteenth is on a Saturday, so I hope you get out and celebrate. If you are white, I would encourage you to find a black-led Juneteenth celebration tomorrow, and one where you are explicitly invited and observe, enjoy, partake. Don't try to lead it. Don't try to express your opinion on it. Don't try to take it over. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Let the black people lead the black people holiday. You support them. You stay behind them. You celebrate with them. Uh, but our opinion on anything to do with it really doesn't matter. Just keep it to yourself tomorrow, okay? Okay. Let's talk COVID. It is a good day from that regard, just like it has been for the past several days. 105 new cases, a little bit higher than yesterday. Still not bad. That's out of 868 tests. So about 12% of the new results today are positive results. The better number, though, the more important number, is the positive test rate over the past 7 days, 0.9%. That's the same as it was yesterday. It's still below 1.0%. That's fantastic. Like that means there's just not very much virus out there right now. It's not circulating through the population the way it was. Remember last fall, there were moments when public health was telling us, if you're out of your house, assume you're being exposed to a deadly virus. And that's not the case right now. It's under control in Wisconsin, which is fantastic. It's been a long time coming, and here we are. It is under control, and we've kept it under control now for a couple of months, which is great. Vaccines are still pretty slow. We did have a vaccine clinic in the Bayview Community Center in Madison today. Another one coming up in July. But that was aimed specifically at people of color who maybe have been hesitant for whatever reason to get vaccinated. You can understand how a person of color, especially a black person, might hesitate to get a shot from an emergency use authorization vaccine from a bunch of white people. But these pop-up vaccine clinics are populated by black and brown health professionals, as well as translators, as well as community health leaders, and so there's just a higher level of confidence. We are now at 11,325 doses per day over the past 7 days, which is about what it's been the last week or so. It's down from its peak of 64,000 per day, but still we're moving along. We're getting 1 or 2 tenths of a percentage of the population done every day. So today we're at 49.5% of us have now gotten at least one shot, and 45.1% have completed the vaccine. Now, that's not getting us to herd immunity, right? We got to get to about 75, 80%. But those numbers, those vaccine levels, are definitely part of why the rest of the spreading numbers are so low right now. Basically half of us, almost half of us, are basically a dead end for the virus, right? Whereas before, last fall, last winter, if I went to the grocery store and breathed in some virus, it was reasonable based on the stats that I would pass the virus on to more people, to more than one more other person, to like 1.5 or 2 more people. That's how viruses spread quickly, right? But now that I'm vaccinated, I can breathe in some virus and it stops. It doesn't go anywhere else. And even if we're at 45% of the population has that, is that dead end, that's a lot better than 0%, right? It's a lot better than 20%. So that even the fact that we're still getting people vaccinated is still what's driving down these spread numbers. We're not going to eradicate it at this level, but we're going to keep it manageable, right? getting vaccinated is a little bit like voting, right? You feel like it doesn't matter if I get vaccinated or not. It doesn't really affect if I vote or not. It doesn't really affect the presidential election. Well, it does. We know that. Obviously, it does. So you getting vaccinated is your one little contribution toward that 45.1%. So I'd encourage you to get vaccinated if you can. There's some people who can't, who are having, um, transportation issues, who can't get a day off of work, who don't speak English, who don't have broadband internet access to make an appointment. But if you can get it, get it. Pernisha notes, going back to Juneteenth for a second. We've talked a little bit about this, that there's been several days of activities for Juneteenth, but the big one, the big party, is tomorrow, noon to 4 at Penn Park on Madison South Side. The parade's at 11. There's performances, there's food, there's all sorts of fun. There's vaccines. Also, since it's Pernisha Clifton, local opera singer Pernisha Clifton, making this comment, I will plug the fact that she will be doing 2 national anthems at the Forward Madison game Saturday night. I will be there. I would have been there anyway, just as a I got my little press badge, so I would have been covering it. But because they're because the theme is authentically celebrating Juneteenth and not in a corporate way, we decided to go ahead and support that, and we bought 4 tickets, so it's big to the kids. But we're gonna get there early so we can hear Pernisha sing the Star Spangled Banner and Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the Black national anthem, which is fantastic. I'm so happy that you're doing that, Pernisha. Can't wait to see you. They're also going to have Matthew Charles is going to do a poetry reading at halftime. They're going to have they've got a Juneteenth scarf. All the proceeds go to YWCA of Madison. Black Star Drumline is going to be there performing. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, we have more Forward Madison news after the break also. All right, so everything's good COVID-wise. I'm very happy about that. And I hope you are too. And we're going to take a short break. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back with news about other Juneteenth stuff, first of all, but also some other county stuff, some state stuff, all good news that you want to stay here for. Okay, don't go away. I'll be right back.
Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
that's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care, we can do more. We can achieve more.
We can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
All right, as we know, as we've mentioned several times, it is Juneteenth tomorrow. On Sunday, which is also Father's Day, by the way, at the Goodman Community Center will be once again the 4th annual Juneteenth Soul Food Brunch. They had to do it virtually last year, but they've had it a few times. They put it on Father's Day. It's about celebrating Black men, Black fathers, and the food this year is going to be provided by Artemis Provisions, which is the owner of that is named Kingsley Goborn. He lives out here in Milwaukee with us, and he sources fresh meats and stuff from local farms. And so he'll be providing the food. It is purely soul food. It's barbecue chicken, jerk chicken, greens, the whole thing. And it's a reasonable price. And the story there is on Madison365.org if you want to figure out how to get involved, how to get there and in on that. Dane County, the Dane County Board Youth Government Program is now seeking applications. If you have a kid who's in high school, it sounds really boring, but it's really, really cool because county government is where everything happens, right? The county board has more to say over your day-to-day life than the president does. And for kids to be able to serve on county committees is a really, really important experience. These are some of the past youth and government participants. The application process is now open for next year. So the link and stuff is on Madison365.org right now. Also, this morning, we have a story from Angelica Usury about Briar Patch Youth Services and a new collaboration they're involved with. It's a nationwide coalition of organizations and academics looking at the connection between homelessness and the criminal justice system. As we know, what happens too often is somebody getting involved in the criminal justice system can lead to homelessness, and being homeless can be criminalized. Right? Just trying to live as a homeless person, you can get arrested for basic stuff. So those things are connected, and this coalition is trying to get around that, or not get around it, but figure it out. And gather the data and look at policies and restorative justice and things like that too, and diversion programs, alternatives to incarceration, to get kids so that they don't get stuck in homelessness. Right. Also, this weekend on Sunday, Voces de la Frontera is going to begin a 90-mile, 9-day march from Milwaukee to Madison. This is part of a nationwide effort, nationwide activism to demand citizenship, or rather a path to citizenship for essential workers. These are folks who are undocumented immigrants, who are workers, who are literally building this country right now, and who have many of whom have children who are citizens. And it's just, and you hear this all the time when you talk about immigration. You hear people say, like, well, just apply for citizenship, but that it doesn't work that way. You can't just, it's not just a form you fill out at the post office. Like, there's literally no way for a lot of folks like this to get to, like, apply for citizenship. It just doesn't happen. So Voces is asking for that. They're demanding it of the Biden administration. They're saying to the Biden administration, we helped get you elected. We could vote you out also. They're very clear about that. So check that story out. It's an interesting effort. And finally, sports. Fort Madison has signed Christian Enriquez, 22-year-old from California, midfielder, to add a little bit of depth to the midfield. He's played for in the USL Championship level, one level above Fort Madison, for Portland Timbers 2, and he's played in the NISA, the National Independent Soccer Association, with 1904 San Diego. He's been on trial for the last week or so, and he'll be joining the club. I don't know if he'll be in the lineup tomorrow night or not, but we will see. That's all I have for you news-wise. I'm going to mention the FAM one more time. I'm going to get rid of this so you can see what that URL is. The FAM is our new membership program. If you value this news, if you would pay for it, you can. We decided when we started 6 years ago that the news would always be free. That we're going to amplify voices from communities of color. We're going to hold people accountable. We're going to tell stories from those communities. We're going to expose systemic and structural racism as well as individual racism. And we always thought that it wouldn't ever be fair to charge money for that. That should just be free and available to you. However, it still costs us money to produce because it's professional. We hire professional journalists and we pay them. So if you are so inclined, if you could afford to buy a subscription from us for $5 a month, $10 a month, $25 a month, go to that URL right now, Madison365.org/thefam. Pick your level. You get some benefits. You get a little bit of early notice of stuff. You get a sticker. You get some stuff. Check it out. It is going to be a wonderful weekend. Oops, a little bit early on the draw there. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back on Monday with more news for you. Enjoy yourself and happy Juneteenth.
This is 365 Media.